cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Zero, nearly dark 30. I've been up for quite a while and taking care of business, and finally got a chance to sit down with you guys. Okay, so how many times have we heard from children, that's not my job, right? Well, this is, and I'm not making this up. This is not fantasy or what if time. This is what was said. The press secretary for the White House, when asked about the invasion of our southern border, she actually said words to this effect: well, why should Joe Biden? Why should the federal government? Why is it their responsibility to take care of the border? Why should they do it? Why should they do it? It's like, and I'm just trying to make the comment from crinkle cut French fry hair Jean-Pierre. I'm trying to make the gist of what she was saying. She was completely sidestepping federal government, executive level, all responsibility. Why should we do anything about it? Why should we take care of this? Why should we stop this invasion? It's not our job, is it? Well, she didn't ask the question. She made the fucking statement. But I'm like, isn't it? Isn't it your job? Isn't it Biden's job? In fact, what was amazing is that she would even attempt to make this argument at all. I mean, was she speaking rhetorically? Did she need a reporter to tell her the Constitution, since she's not a natural born American? And she approaches this country with the idea that you can just change it to be whatever you want. Sorry, little sister, this ain't a democracy. It's a republic. The foundational structure doesn't change on a whim or even a vote by the majority. Anyways, let us continue. So it wasn't a rhetorical question or statement on her part. It was an exoneration of the president and his responsibility and the federal government's responsibility, and leaving people, well, to their own devices, I suppose. And literally, folks, ducks in front of me. Gotta love Florida. Fucking residential ducks. All right. So yeah, she shirks responsibility. Right. Well, we had Texas say, you know what, we're tired of being invaded. And so we're going to stop it. And what was the first thing, the very first thing the Biden administration and the federal government did? Well, they took it upon themselves not to stop the border invasion, but to stop Texas from stopping the border invasion. Now, well, I don't know any part of the Constitution that says the government of the feds in Washington, D.C. should use its power, might, authority, and resources to prohibit states from protecting themselves and their people and their economies and their property and their lives and their safety and their peace, comfort, and tranquility. You see, that's what government's supposed to do, is keep the peace, protect the people, right? Ensure, literally, the government's job is to ensure our rights are upheld. Did you know that? That's actually its purpose, is to keep peace so that people can live amongst each other and pursue their various, well, let's call them adventures in life. To guarantee our rights, in other words. The government's job is to guarantee our rights, to preserve and protect our nation. In fact, I think it's in one of those oaths, right? Something about all enemies, foreign and domestic, to provide for the protection of the nation? And isn't the border part of that? Well, it is. If the federal government, in other words, Joe Biden, was not ultimately charged with and responsible for protecting the nation and the border, why is there a border patrol? Why is there an immigration and customs enforcement organization? Why is there a customs at airports, ports of entry? How is it that if I were to leave the country and try to re-enter it, even as a natural born American, someone who obviously sounds and looks American, why am I questioned? Why am I stopped? Why am I asked if there's anything to declare? Why do they have any authority over me and my uh, motion? That's fucking crazy, folks. I tell you what the answer is, though. The answer is they want an invasion. They want the border. The government assumes all manner of authority and power. And this is just a sham on their part. It truly is a sham. And it's a filthy, disgusting one at that. This is our government, though, folks. This is the government of the United States of America, out of Washington, D.C., and this is what they do. Our country has been taken over by organized crime. Now, folks, organized crime. What is organized crime? Organized crime is an organization that purports to perform a service or provide a service, whatever that service is, and you are forced to participate with it. It's not optional. You do as you're told, and you pay what you're told to pay. And the people in organized crime enjoy immense amounts of power, and people who are high up in organized crime are, guess what? They are immunized, not with the Jim Jones juice. They're immunized against, well, prosecution, being held accountable. They can do whatever they want within reason. And whether it's in public or private, things change, don't they? For example, if you're the president's son, you can have sex with presumably underage prostitutes, snort cocaine off their asses, smoke crack while speeding over 100 miles an hour to Vegas. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can shake down foreign dignitaries and politicians and businessmen with your dad right there on the phone, and, well, you're going to get away with it, even if you're caught. That's organized crime. Now, folks, I'm not happy about the organized crime and criminal cartel called the United States government and their deep state operatives. But I can tell you something, right? Even organized crime provides the service that they claim they're providing. If they're going to say we're collecting insurance money from you, in other words, pay a fee, a tax to live in that area, you pay the fee and the tax, or you get your knuckles broken. But then that enterprise, let's call it that extra governmental enterprise is bound to protect you. If you're paying protection money to the mafia will protect you and keep the peace, keep things safe. Right? They keep the peace between the people as well. You're not allowed to get out of hand. Because I believe that in most cases, organized criminals, they do not want chaos in their lives, in their neighborhoods, in their territory. Let me tell you why. They've got enough to worry about as it is, and they don't need the people that live around them getting out of hand. So they collect their money and they make sure everyone is living as peaceably as possible. Sounds a little different, though, when we apply that to the U.S. government, who are looking to cause chaos, grief, strife, violence. Well, There's one problem here, and that, yes, they are organized crime in Washington, D.C., and they are a bunch of sick, perverted freaks, but they need to destroy this country. And that's why they're allowing the border open. That's why Karine Jean-Pierre, moron extraordinaire, has the temerity to stand in front of, well, reporters, God, and the world and ask, well, why should Joe Biden take care of the border? Well, they're not going to, folks. So whether you're in a border state or more inland, we can't get away from these violent, nasty immigrants, even in the great state of Florida. So my recommendation is to get prepared. Keep copies of the Declaration of Independence and Constitution close at hand, and be prepared to defend yourself, since the government claims it's not my job. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours.